As the sun painted the sky in hues of soft orange and pink, the last glimmers of daylight filtered through the pharmacy's glass door, casting long shadows on the polished floor. Inside, Anna, the cashier, let out a weary sigh, a mix of relief and residual frustration from handling another hectic day. The familiar hum of conversation filled the air, punctuated by the rustle of plastic bags and the beeping of registers, but her attention was pulled toward a small figure huddling near the shelves in the corner. A mother, with adrenaline-fueled tears streaking her cheeks, clutched her child against her chest as if trying to shield him from the storm raging outside the store. The boy, no older than 4, trembled with fever, his brows knitted in pain. Anna's heart clenched. She could almost feel the heat radiating from him, even from this distance. "Ma'am, can I help you with something?" Anna asked, her voice steady, surprising even herself with how gently it came out. The mother looked up, caught off guard. I'm just trying to get some medicine. I didn't think it would be so high. I just need a few doses for his fever." Anna glanced at the price tag on the box the distressed woman was pointing to, feeling her heart drop. They were too much, especially for a young mother with a sick child. The busy store would be closing soon, and the last vestiges of daylight faded into the gathering dusk outside. But Anna couldn't let this moment slip away, not when it meant so much to this woman. "I can find something more affordable," she offered, her voice carrying an urgency she couldn't contain. No, I'm fine. I just need to..." The mother's voice cracked, and she looked frantically between her son's pain-filled eyes and the items lined up on the shelf, the longing for relief evident on her face. "Please, I can't see him suffer like this." Without a shred of hesitation, Anna made a choice. "Listen, just give me a moment. I'll be right back," she promised, brimming with resolve. Anna swiftly retrieved a generic brand of the same medication, her mind whirring with the implications of the gesture. It wasn't a matter of cost for her. She just couldn't stand by as that child lay suffering when she had an opportunity to help. "Wait here." She scanned the aisles, ensuring no one was watching, before slipping the box into a small bag. The woman's eyes widened as Anna returned, her heart racing. "This'll work just as well, and I can't charge you for it. Just take it. Get your little one better." The mother hesitated, disbelief shimmering in her tear-swollen eyes. I can't. I should pay you something." "Just promise me you'll use it for him," Anna replied, shaking her head. "You can repay me by helping someone else someday, okay?" For a long moment they simply stood there, emotions swirling like a tempest. The mother's hand trembled as she finally accepted the bag. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely a breath. Anna nodded, her own heart swelling with something inexplicable. Perhaps it was hope, mingled with frustration over a world that too often measured kindness in dollar amounts and paperwork. "Just take care of him," she urged. As the woman hurried out with her son cradled close, Anna felt a warmth brightening her chest. But that warmth was soon overshadowed by the heavy thoughts that loomed at the back of her mind. With her own student loans looming and rent not far behind, a moment like this felt like reprieve, even as her own burdens thickened. The rush of customers faded as the clock inched toward closing time. Her first day in the new pharmacy, and already she'd made a decision that might cost her job later. Yet, as she glanced toward the door, where that mom had disappeared, Anna didn't regret it. Instead, she held on to the small glimmer of hope sparked by that single, powerful act of kindness. Days passed, stretching into an increasingly unfocused stream of work. Anna's actions, the empathy she'd shown to that mother, were a mere echo in the bustling store, but its return played out in a serendipitous way she couldn't yet imagine. Each customer she encountered brought their own tales of anguish and joy, a cascade of human stories layered within the pharmacy walls, like pages of a novel that could only be read one brush at a time. And though the store grew familiar, shadows of uncertainty lingered. The consequences of her earlier choice loomed just out of sight. It was with a heavy heart that Anna gathered her things that Friday afternoon, the closing announcements buzzing through the air. She lingered only a moment too long near the back office, the stack of bills wrinkling in her pocket, when a gentle voice called out from behind her. "Anna, could you come into my office for a moment?" Bright yet forbidding, the owner's voice pierced the calm. With her heartbeat echoing in her ears, Anna looked up to find Mr. Davidson leaning in his office doorway, his posture both relaxed and commanding. She knew this moment would take her down paths she hadn't anticipated. "Sure," she replied, hoping the buoyancy she faked on the outside could mask the anxiety swelling beneath. As she stepped forward, a hint of anticipation tinged the atmosphere, even as uncertainty rippled beneath the surface. Whatever awaited her inside must surely unravel the threads of this week, and perhaps thread the needle of something she had yet to comprehend. Anna stepped into Mr. Davidson's office, her heart racing. The room was drenched in the warm hues of the setting sun, a stark contrast to the questions swirling in her mind. Shelves lined with books, haphazardly piled around the room, hinted at his interests beyond the pharmacy. Distant philosophies, relationships, and perhaps the art of kindness, she mused. "Have a seat," he said, gesturing toward a stuffed armchair that seemed almost inviting, despite the tension crackling in the air. Anna sat down, absorbing the chaos that surrounded him. Tucked papers, stray pharmacy reports, and a half-finished cup of coffee cooling on the table. They were the remnants of someone perpetually busy, yet somehow present enough to care. "Thank you for coming in, Anna," he said, looking at her with keen eyes. "I wanted to talk to you about the incident with the mother and her son." Dread pooled in Anna's stomach. I just wanted to help," she stammered, her fingers twisting nervously at the hem of her shirt. "I didn't mean to overstep or anything." No, it's not like that." Mr. Davidson leaned back, his demeanor softening. "Actually, it's quite the opposite. I've received quite a bit of feedback about your act of kindness that day. The mother came back to thank me. She was incredibly moved by what you did." Relief flooded Anna's veins as she focused on the gravity of his words. "She did? I hope her son is feeling better." "He is, thanks to you. Apparently the medicine worked wonders." A knowing smile crossed Mr. Davidson's face. But more importantly, she shared something unexpected. Your gesture inspired her to help others in her community who needed assistance. She said she never considered paying it forward until now. This is what she shared with me. As he spoke, Anna felt a thrill course through her. That small act, rooted in instinct, had sparked a ripple. She often believed she was just one voice in a sea of chaos, but now it seemed she was part of something larger. "And even more surprising," he continued, "her advocacy opened channels for our pharmacy to partner with local social services on a community program. You've begun a movement, Anna. We'll be hosting free health screenings and educational workshops for families in need. The outreach would be substantial." "What?" Anna blinked, struggling to grasp the implications. "You're serious?" "Dead serious." Mr. Davidson nodded, his eyes glimmering with enthusiasm. "But ideas like this need support, leadership. I'd like you to help coordinate these initiatives." Her mouth opened and closed like a fish, a mix of astonishment and anxiety holding her captive. "Me? Why would you choose me?" "Because you have a genuine heart, Anna. Your willingness to extend kindness has influenced more lives than you know. You'll also be working closely with our newly hired outreach coordinator to help guide this movement. Curiosity flickered, battling her hesitation. Who is the outreach coordinator? Her name is Lily, and she'll be starting next week. I think you two will balance each other. She's got a great background in community health and brings experience from a nonprofit setting. Anna bit her lip. Could she really step into a role like that? I've never done anything like this before. And yet, here you are, already impacting lives. I know it might feel daunting, but I trust you. You have the heart for it, and I believe you'll grow in this role, even if it feels overwhelming at first. The sincerity in Mr. Davidson's voice pierced through Anna's doubts. Perhaps she could transform her empathy into progressive action. What if she could facilitate real change? What's the first step? Let's take it one moment at a time. Gain experience, meet with Lily, and we can plan together, his tone edged with genuine excitement. And who knows, you might find that you enjoy it. A soft smile crept onto her face, beginning to counterbalance the anxiety simmering beneath the surface. Thank you for believing in me. I won't let you down. As Anna left the office, her thoughts swirled like dandelion seeds in the wind, unsure where they would land. She had unknowingly lit this path with her kindness, and now, as she poised herself to take the next step, she felt the echoes of that singular act whispering promises. She needed steady footing. Over the next week, Anna learned more about herself than in her entire life. The excitement of planning the outreach programs with Lily was intoxicating. Lily turned out to be warm, approachable, and brimming with first-hand experiences that captivated Anna. They brainstormed logistics for an upcoming community health fair, merging their passions seamlessly, and by the end of each day, Anna felt a renewed sense of purpose. Imagine if we created workshops not just for physical wellness, but also for emotional health, Lily mused one afternoon, her eyes sparkling with ideas. People need resources for mental well-being just as much as they do for physical ailments. Anna's heart raced with excitement as they dove deep into concepts. The thought of supporting families to address their emotional needs filled her with hope. It stirred within her memories of her own struggles, moments when she felt lost and needed guidance. She wanted to wrap herself around those feelings and maximize their beauty, transforming pain into strength as they planned the workshops. But growth carried its own challenges. One day, Anna overheard some staff discussing the outreach program, dismissing its potential impact. A sense of doubt flickered through her like an unwelcome gust of wind. Was it really enough to make a difference? Willie, she said afterward, her voice shaking slightly, what if no one comes? What if my efforts are wasted? A moment of silence unfurled between them as Lily considered Anna's worries. Sometimes the outcome itself doesn't reflect how significant your presence may be. What matters is that we're here, showing up, trying. Even if we help one person, that matters. That simple truth ignited a spark in Anna. She recalled how she had felt about the mother and her child those days ago. The notion that one small act could change an entire trajectory echoed in her mind. You're right. I just need to keep focusing on the moments, not the numbers. As the weeks rolled into a rhythm of preparation, Anna began to feel the weight of her joint responsibilities ease. She found beauty in those moments when she and Lily navigated challenges collaboratively, laughter building bridges between their different perspectives. Outside the pharmacy, Anna began to interact more with the community herself, visiting local events and street fairs. She spoke with mothers who reminded her of the ones she had helped, drawing together threads of connection that had been frayed before. Each story she encountered stoked the fires of her determination, a quiet, persistent reminder that change rarely erupted, but more often flickered slowly beneath the surface. One chilly Saturday, the community health fair finally arrived. Crisp autumn leaves crunched underfoot as Anna, donning her new coordination badge, greeted attendees at the entrance. The tents were vibrant with colors, brimming with information on nutrition, mental health resources, and wellness tips. Excitement buzzed in the air, mingling with the aromatic scents of freshly brewed coffee, hearty soups, and baked goods from local vendors. As Anna shared her enthusiasm and information with attendees, she couldn't hide the smile spreading across her face as lights of hope twinkled in the eyes of every participant. She quickly became an ambassador for their cause, embodying the mission behind the outreach program. Former doubts faded as the upbeat atmosphere seeped into her very being, replacing insecurity with conviction. Then came a moment that changed everything. As Anna stood next to a booth facilitating a conversation between a dietitian and a young mother terrified about her child's diet, she caught sight of a familiar face in the crowd. It was the mother from the pharmacy, the one she had helped when her son was sick. "Anna," she called, waving, her smile radiant. The boy, now with a faint blush on his cheeks from the autumn chill, joyously clutched a paper bag filled with colorful fruits and a few small toys. Tears pricked Anna's eyes as she rushed over. "I can't believe you're here." "Thanks to you. We've been coming to the workshops and it's helped us so much. He's growing stronger. I wanted to thank you in person." She bent down, ruffling her son's hair. "This is Jacob. He wanted to meet you." "A pleasure to meet you, Jacob," Anna replied, crouching to his level. The boy's shining eyes were filled with warmth, and she felt honored to be part of his journey, however small. "I like apples," he declared proudly, holding the bag up like a trophy. "Then you're in for a treat," Anna beamed, her heart soaring. As they talked, Anna recognized the unfolding connection. Magic lay in acts that reached far beyond the immediate moment. In later conversations that day, tears mingled with laughter as more and more people recounted how Anna's work had drawn them closer to a sense of community. Each individual story unfurled like petals in spring, reminding Anna that her fears had been natural, but so were the rippling effects of kindness. Through the lessons and journeys of others, Anna could finally begin to reconcile her initial doubt and anxiety with the powerful wave of change that rippled through and around her. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, the fair finally came to a close. Anna turned to Lily, overwhelmed yet invigorated. "I can't believe it. Every story, every smile, it makes me want to do more." "Then let's grow this even further," Lily replied, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Community building isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process." With the day's success fueling their resolve, Anna felt a renewed sense of purpose. Identity and action entwined, leading her to her calling. There were mountains of service and love left to explore, and this was merely the start of a transformative journey for them both. In sharing stories of struggle and strength, Anna and her motherly spirit began to observe how kindness became their shared language, connecting people in moments they thought they were alone. Through those connections, Anna learned the invaluable truth that rippled out into a larger reality. Weeks and months flew by, filled with the efforts of their community outreach, laughter, and heartfelt connections. Anna continued to grow, evolving from a timid cashier into a connector, a bridge between resources and people, weaving a tapestry of hope and resilience. The essence of the outreach program shimmered with the energy of each new individual they touched, every child they inspired, and every voice that found its strength through shared stories. Anna discovered her own story was intertwined, roots gripping deeper in the heart of their blossoming community. And in each moment she felt the profound impact of those small choices. What began as a single act of kindness transformed the landscape around her, revealing a path toward an empowering future, not just for her, but for a constellation of souls orbiting one another, each igniting the spark of change. Anna stepped into Mr. Davidson's office, her heart racing. She could practically hear the clock ticking, each second heavy with anticipation and anxiety. The walls felt almost too close, adorned with diplomas and plaques. that implied prestige while casting a shadow over her own worth. Why hadn't she just kept her head down and rung up items like any other day? "Have a seat," Mr. Davidson said, gesturing toward the chair opposite his desk. The inviting demeanor felt at odds with the nervous energy that hung in the air. She managed a nod and sat down, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, fingers fidgeting with her shirt. "You wanted to see me?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. He studied her for a moment, that piercing gaze revealing nothing. A faint smile flickered on his face. "You've created quite an impact in this short time, Anna." Breath caught in her throat. "Is that good or bad?" "Very good," he assured her, leaning forward, fingers clasped together. "The mother you helped approached me last week. She was incredibly grateful for the medicine, and not just for her son's health. She shared how your kindness inspired her to pay it forward and help others in her community." Relief washed over Anna, her heart swelling with pride. "Really, I'm so glad she's doing well. I just wanted to help." "Well, it's more than that," Mr. Davidson continued, a glimmer of excitement growing in his eyes. Her story resonated with others. She went on to share how impactful your small act of kindness was in her life. She mentioned that you not only saved her child's health, but also restored her faith in community connections. This led to us getting involved with social services to expand the reach of our pharmacy into underserved areas. Anna felt her mouth drop open in astonishment. "Is that really possible?" Higher Outreach Team is engaging local health departments, and together we're forming wellness workshops and community fairs. Your instincts in that moment led us to propose the community initiative, and I want you to take a leading role. "Me?" she asked incredulously, her mind racing. "I'm not qualified for that." "Of course you are. You have the heart, and that is often more important than any degree on paper. The kindness you showed resonated immediately with both her and our staff. I believe someone with your intuition can lead these initiatives toward meaningful change." "I'd love to help," Anna murmured, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. She could almost picture her days filled with coordinating events, reaching people in need and transforming lives. But then a shadow of doubt flickered. "But I don't know how to run a program like this." Mr. Davidson smiled reassuringly. "That's where we work together. You'll be collaborating with our outreach coordinator, who has years of experience in this area. You'll learn as you go." Having grown accustomed to complacency within the confines of her former role, Anna struggled with apprehension. Could she relinquish insecurity and lead without hesitation? "I'll certainly give it my best shot." "That's all I'm asking for," he replied. "And trust me, you'll surprise yourself along the way. Who knows how many identities you hold within you yet to be discovered." Days rolled into a week, fluid with recovery and learning. Anna threw herself into the preparation of the workshops, her heart still thrumming with a blend of anxiety and exhilaration. The first planning meeting with Lily, the outreach coordinator, felt both thrilling and terrifying. As the two gathered ideas, topics blossomed like flowers: mental health awareness, nutrition, family engagement. The possibilities expanded rapidly, filling the whiteboard in their little corner of the pharmacy's back room. Their collective passion ignited a sense of camaraderie, and for the first time, Anna could see beyond her role as a cashier. "Imagine if we offered family cookouts," Anna suggested during one meeting, her enthusiasm bubbling over. "Parents can bond over healthy meal prep, and we can provide nutrition guides to take home." "That's a fantastic idea. It also gives us a chance to include kids," Lily added. "We can incorporate interactive activities in between the cooking, make this an educational yet fun event." As they collectively mapped out each detail, Anna began to feel her burdens lift. Her fears transformed into nurturing confidence. She reflected on her own childhood experiences, recalling how community gatherings had connected her family more closely. What if she could recreate that sense of belonging for the families they would serve? Yet just as momentum built, challenges erupted. A week before their inaugural health fair, they encountered severe pushback from some local officials who questioned the pharmacy's involvement with community health. "Why should we trust newcomers?" a town council member had asked in a meeting. "What credentials do you have?" Those piercing doubts echoed in Anna's mind as she lay in bed that night, unable to sleep. What if they failed? What if she failed? Crippling anxiety washed over her. It was so easy to slip back into a space of self-doubt. The following morning, Anna arrived at work feeling the weight of uncertainty tighten around her heart. As she entered the break room, to her surprise, she saw the same mother from the pharmacy, the one she had helped sitting at the table, her son playing game apps on her phone nearby. "Hi there, it's good to see you again," Anna said, her nerves dancing as she approached. The mother looked up, her eyes warm with familiarity. "Anna, I was hoping I could find you. I wanted to thank you again for what you did for Jacob and me." Anna waved her hands dismissively. "You don't have to thank me. I just did what anyone would do." "That's exactly it. You did what many wouldn't," the mother replied earnestly, glancing around the break room. "I wanted to share something. Our neighborhood is struggling, really, and I know you've been working on health events for families. I've talked with a few people who'd love to be involved." Anna's heart raced as she sensed the potential. "Really? That's amazing." "Absolutely. A lot of families want access to health education. You'd be surprised how many people felt abandoned by the system. And now that there's someone trying to reach out—" She paused, shifting her focus to her son, who was engrossed in her phone. "We'd love to collaborate. I'm ready to help spread the word." Hope surged within Anna. "Do you really mean it?" "Yes, I believe you can make a difference, Anna. Give me a list of what you need, and I'll help organize families to be a part of it." The gratitude swelled inside Anna, but it coalesced into a fervor. Suddenly, the uncertainty felt a little less daunting. Wow, that would truly mean a lot. In that moment, she saw vivid glimpses of their future endeavors overpowering the doubts that once held her captive. Together with that mother, Anna began gathering more community input, laying the groundwork for their health events. Each conversation revealed layers of support and enthusiasm, a transformative reminder of how her simple act of kindness had branched out into a blossoming network of compassion. When the day the health fair finally arrived, Anna stood nervously at the entrance of the community center, her heart thumping against her ribcage like a caged bird desperate for freedom. Colorful banners flapped in the gentle breeze, booths sprawled out with an array of information, all punctuated by a faint aroma of fresh food cooking nearby. During the initial hour, families trickled in slowly, mingling and exploring the offerings. Anna immersed herself in the activities, chatting with the attendees, exchanging smiles and soothing nervous parents. With Lily by her side, they felt momentum building. Then, just a few hours in, something magical happened. The young mother appeared, accompanied by a gaggle of children and several other families. They carried posters and handmade brochures detailing their health concerns. She led them directly to Anna, eyes gleaming triumphantly. "See, they all want to meet you," she exclaimed, joy spilling from her voice. Anna felt her heart swell. One by one, parents and children approached, each sharing stories of their ambitions, hopes, and fears. They spoke of their families, their struggles, and their desires for a healthier community. The weight of Anna's earlier fears began to dissolve, joys overtaking the nervousness that had clung to her heart. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the fairground, Anna stood in awe. They had transformed what once seemed insurmountable into a tapestry of connection. They shared not just resources, but heartstrings binding them in the pursuit of common good. At one booth, a nutritionist led a cooking demonstration, while another corner offered yoga classes for families. Laughter filled the air as kids engaged with interactive games, and parents shared tips and resources on local support systems. Anna watched as the warmth of community consumed them all, sparking emotions that breathed life into the air. Then came a moment that Anna would carry with her always. Just as she was explaining the workshops, she noticed Jacob, now healthier and radiating energy, bounding toward her with wide eyes. "Anna, look at what I made!" He held up a paper plate filled with fruits for their snack demonstration, proudly displaying his colorful creation. "You did an amazing job, Jacob!" she exclaimed, bending down to match his enthusiasm. The joy coursing through those moments felt palpable, a beautiful mix of triumph and hope. "Thanks, but I learned it from you, so it's really your snack," he grinned, wrapping his tiny arms around her. "Ha ha!" His simple affection melted Anna's heart, a reminder that her choices had so deeply impacted not just individuals but families, echoing into futures filled with potential. In the moments that followed, Anna watched as connections weaved themselves together. Each family moved freely through the fair, sharing laughs and knowledge. Each interaction carried a deeper meaning, leading to transformation not just for the community, but within her. As the day drew to a close, Anna felt a sense of profound pride radiating within her. The fair had exceeded her expectations, breathing life into the dreams they once thought intangible. The growth she had experienced was palpable. She realized that the vulnerability she felt was inseparably tied to the bravery it took to pursue growth and connection. Each doubt had unraveled, revealing a vibrant tapestry of compassion and understanding, each person she engaged with now quintessential to her story. When the last family departed and the decorations dimmed, Anna sat exhausted yet fulfilled amongst her fellow organizers. She turned to Lily, whose eyes sparkled with happiness. "We did it," she breathed, incredulous at their unwavering success. "We did?" Lily echoed softly, pride swelling in both of them. Anna reflected on how far she had come. While she had entered the pharmacy, buoyed by its familiarity, she now discovered an expansive future filled with connection, empowerment, and purpose. Each act of kindness traveled far beyond the heart of its origin. It sparked hope, cascading into realms Anna had yet to uncover. Through compassion, they had distilled purpose from what could have easily dissipated into nothing. "I'm ready for even more," Anna declared, her heart racing with enthusiasm as she envisioned future events. "We need to keep engaging families. We need to listen more and grow together." "We will," Lily said, smiling brightly as she jotted down notes for their next meetup. "This is just the beginning." In the weeks that followed, Anna noticed changes not only in herself, but within the rush of the community. Their feedback continued to shape the events, and families, long lost and feeling disconnected, began to reclaim their connections. It was through the bonds forged over health, healing, and kindness that community blossomed. Months later, as she stood at the counter of the pharmacy on a routine day, Anna felt the joy of every single moment they had shared resonate deep within her soul. She waved to regular customers, her heart brimming with gratitude for how simple choices could unfurl journeys far beyond what anyone ever expected. In her hand was a handmade card, crafted with crayons and scribbles, a token from Jacob and his mom, thanking her for everything. It encapsulated the essence of her mission, connecting rather than merely serving, reaching hearts instead of just ringing up purchases. Alongside it was an invitation to their next community gathering, another chance to foster connection and shape lives. Anna smiled, holding the card close to her heart. In every small act of compassion, she was tirelessly reminded that even the tiniest spark could ignite a fire capable of lighting countless paths. Hope glimmered in her chest as she moved toward the window, watching the world thrumming with vibrant energy outside. She understood then. Life didn't always come neatly packaged. It exchanged whispers of kindness, pulling people together and inviting them to weave their stories into the larger fabric of existence. In that moment of clarity, she made a promise to herself. She would never cease to look for those moments again, and she would continue to cultivate spaces where connections breathed, cultivated by the simple but transformative power of a caring heart.